Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Well, he said, look, I'll pretend like I'm going to go up and ask her a question, but what I'm really going to do is...
The world of entertainment has lost one of its most visionary architects. Don Mischer, the legendary director and producer behind television's most iconic live moments, from the Super Bowl halftime shows to the Olympic ceremonies, the Oscars, and the Emmys, passed away peacefully in his sleep on April 11, 2025, in Los Angeles, at the age of 85. The news was confirmed by a family spokesperson and first reported by The Hollywood Reporter. Mischer had just announced his retirement with the 2025 Breakthrough Prize ceremony as his final show. Even in his final days, he remained deeply committed to his craft. Born in San Antonio, Texas in 1940, Mischer's fascination with television began at age 9, and that spark never dimmed. After earning degrees in sociology, he initially considered academia before pivoting to broadcasting. A chance opportunity during the aftermath of JFK's assassination introduced him to the urgency and creativity of live news and changed his life. From there, Mischer built a storied career that spanned more than 6 decades, shaping how audiences experienced some of the most unforgettable moments on screen. Mischer's legacy is unmatched. Directing Michael Jackson's legendary Billie Jean moonwalk at Motown 25, Prince performing Purple Rain in a downpour at the Super Bowl, and Muhammad Ali lighting the Olympic flame. His body of work earned him 15 Emmy Awards, 10 DGA Awards, a Peabody, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Behind the scenes, he was beloved for his grace under pressure, deep respect for talent, and unwavering commitment to excellence. But live television, he admitted, came with its trials. From technical glitches to on-air mishaps, like the infamous balloon drop debacle at the 2004 Democratic Convention. Yet he handled every high-stakes moment with integrity, humility, and humor. "More can go wrong than right," he once said, "but that's what makes it thrilling." Don Mischer is survived by his loving wife Susan, 4 children, Heather, Jennifer, Charlie, and Lily, and 2 grandchildren. His legacy lives on in every breathtaking broadcast, every perfectly timed cue, and every heart he touched through the screen. Thank you, Don, for turning fleeting moments into timeless memories.
I won't let you kill that child.
Away! About to...
Jean Marsh, the gifted actress and co-creator of the iconic series Upstairs, Downstairs, passed away peacefully at her home in London on April 13, 2025, at the age of 90, as confirmed by the New York Times. Director and longtime friend Michael Lindsay Hogg shared that her death was the result of complications from dementia. Her passing marks the end of an extraordinary chapter in British television, leaving an irreplaceable void in the hearts of fans and within the country's artistic heritage. Jean Marsh made an indelible mark on television history through her portrayal of Rose Buck, the loyal and compassionate parlour-maid, in Upstairs, Downstairs. The role earned her an Emmy Award in 1975 and the deep affection of audiences around the world. But Marsh was not only the star of the series. Alongside Eileen Atkins, she co-created a show that authentically portrayed the lives of domestic servants in early 20th century aristocratic England, a perspective both humanizing and rare for its time. Having endured trauma in childhood from wartime bombings and temporary paralysis, Jeanne found her strength through dance and performance. Coming from a working-class background, She had a profound understanding of the injustices of the class system, which fueled her artistic vision throughout her career. Despite the heartbreak of a failed marriage and the physical challenges following a stroke, she remained dedicated to her craft, returning to reprise her role in the 2010 reboot of Upstairs, Downstairs. Jean Marsh was not only an actress, but also a writer, screenwriter, and an enduring inspiration, a truly multifaceted icon. Her appointment as an officer of the British Empire in 2012 was a fitting tribute to a lifelong commitment to the arts and social awareness. Though the stage lights may have dimmed, the name Jean Marsh will forever be remembered as a treasured part of Britain's television legacy.
Costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
Wendy Williams, silenced too soon? Wendy Williams, the fearless voice of daytime television and radio, has never been a stranger to controversy, vulnerability, or reinvention. For over 3 decades, she commanded attention with her unfiltered commentary, magnetic presence, and fearless honesty. But today, the woman who once asked, "How you doin'?" to millions each day, is fighting a very different battle, one for her freedom, her dignity, and her voice. Today, we take a closer look at Wendy's extraordinary life and legacy. From her trailblazing success to her deeply troubling legal battle, and ask, is Wendy being silenced too soon? And will she ever reclaim her voice in the public eye? Born on July 18, 1964, in Asbury Park, New Jersey, Wendy Joan Williams became a trailblazer in broadcasting. She rose from radio stardom to national television fame with The Wendy Williams Show, which ran from 2008 to 2021. With her candid takes, signature catchphrases, and captivating interviews, Wendy became a beloved cultural icon. Her story has always been one of triumph over adversity, conquering addiction, heartbreak, health crises, and public scrutiny, all while turning her personal struggles into moments of connection with her audience. But in 2022, Wendy stepped away from the spotlight amid growing concerns over her health. It was later revealed that she was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, an incurable condition that affects communication and behavior. Her team confirmed her diagnosis in early 2024, a move meant to explain her absence and protect her privacy. For many, it was a devastating revelation that the talk show titan was facing a life-altering battle. Still, behind closed doors, another storm was brewing. In a stunning turn of events, Wendy's life became entangled in a court-ordered guardianship, with attorney Sabrina Morrissey assigned as her legal guardian. The move immediately sparked concern among fans and legal experts alike. How could a woman who built her empire on wit, clarity, and charisma suddenly be deemed unfit to manage her own affairs? The guardianship saga reached a boiling point on April 11, 2025, during a tense court hearing in New York. Wendy appeared in person with her niece, Alex Finney. According to reports, the judge harshly admonished Alex for allegedly violating a gag order, a legal restriction preventing those involved from discussing the case publicly. What shocked many wasn't just the warning, but the judge's chilling remark directed at Wendy herself. "Your career is over. It's never coming back." That one sentence sent ripples through the entertainment world. Wendy's attorney, Joe Tacopina, spoke out immediately, calling the judge's words disgusting, biased, and completely inappropriate. Tacopina, who has spent months speaking with and supporting Wendy, insists she is still mentally capable, sharp, and entirely aware of her surroundings. "She's as Wendy as she was 10 years ago," he told TMZ Live. "She's more than capable of doing a talk show." Worse yet, Tacopina revealed that Wendy had recently passed a cognitive test and questioned why she remained confined in a care facility, a place, he says, more fitting for patients in their 80s and 90s with severe impairments. He described her current living situation as prison-like, where her freedom to move, speak, and even dine with family is restricted. Why then is she still there? Tacopina argues that the gag order is a form of unconstitutional prior restraint, an abuse of legal power designed to silence Wendy and those trying to help her. She didn't commit a crime. She's not a danger to herself or others. Yet she's being held, voiceless, under a system that should be protecting her, not punishing her, he stated. The deeper concern now centers around the role of the guardian and the judge overseeing the case. Are personal biases or financial incentives influencing decisions? Is Wendy being kept away from the public eye because it's easier to control the narrative? These are questions that deserve answers, and fast. For fans, the situation feels like a surreal inversion of Wendy's own legacy. The woman who once amplified the voices of others is now struggling to be heard herself. Her journey, once marked by public resilience, now plays out in silence, behind legal walls and media blackouts. And yet, Wendy remains a symbol of strength. Even in confinement, she has shown flashes of the vibrant, quick-witted personality the world fell in love with. Her attorney calls her resolute and hopeful, and millions of supporters echo that hope, believing that if anyone can come back from this, it's Wendy Williams. Throughout this period, Wendy's close circle, especially her niece Alex Finney, has continued to advocate for her return to independence. Tacopina has vowed not to leave her side until she is free. "I will fight tooth and nail until Wendy is allowed to live her life on her own terms," he said. Wendy's case has become a flashpoint in a larger conversation. How should guardianship laws protect, not suppress, individual rights? What safeguards should exist to ensure that dignity isn't lost behind closed courtrooms? As we reflect on Wendy's story, her career, her voice, her fight, one question lingers. Should her fate be decided by court orders or by her own will? What are your thoughts on Wendy Williams' journey? On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate her impact on the entertainment industry? Has her story touched or inspired you in any way? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below as we shine a light on a woman whose strength and spirit still resonate. If Wendy's story moved you, please like this post and share it with others. Let's raise our voices for Wendy Williams, a media icon whose legacy and freedom deserve to be celebrated and protected. Because her story isn't over yet, and she deserves the chance to tell it herself.
This director is great. This is great. Of course, music to a director's ears to hear all this approbation, right?
Ted Kotcheff, the boundary-pushing director who gave the world the emotional weight of First Blood and the unforgettable absurdity of Weekend at Bernie's, has passed away at 94. He died peacefully of heart failure on April 10, 2025, in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico, surrounded by his loved ones. Celebrated for his remarkable range and emotional depth, Kotcheff left behind a legacy that reshaped film and television across continents. Born in Toronto in 1931 to Bulgarian Macedonian immigrants, Kotcheff's career began at CBC before taking him to London in the 1950s. There, he directed powerful TV dramas before transitioning to film with works like Wake in Fright, now hailed as a cult classic, and The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, which earned international acclaim and a Golden Bear in Berlin. His move to Hollywood brought major success with comedies like Fun with Dick and Jane and action milestones like First Blood, which introduced the world to Sylvester Stallone's iconic portrayal of John Rambo. Kotcheff's journey wasn't always easy. He faced early professional challenges, misunderstood films, and the pressure of live TV mishaps, including a high-profile gaffe during the 2004 Democratic Convention. Personally, he endured the loss of his mother at 17 and the collapse of his first marriage. Yet, he remained undeterred, adaptable, passionate, and grounded in his love of storytelling. In his later years, He left an indelible mark on television as a producer on Law and Order, SVU, for 12 seasons. Survived by his wife Laifun and 5 children, Ted Kotcheff's fearless creativity continues to resonate in every frame he directed and in the hearts of those he inspired.
Well, it's true, you're out, but that account's mine.
The talented actor Nicky Katt, who made a lasting impression with his roles as Harry Sennett in Boston Public and Clint Bruno in Dazed and Confused, has died at the age of 54 on April 8, 2025, his attorney John Sloss confirmed. The cause of death has not been disclosed, but his passing has caused grief from colleagues and fans. Born in Acapulco and raised in Los Angeles, Katt began his acting career as a child, appearing in Fantasy Island, Gremlins, and The Burbs. Known for his diverse and daring performances, he was often described as an actor's actor, someone who elevated every role, no matter how big or small. His transformation was so profound that, as he once admitted, even close friends did not always recognize him on screen. Though best known for his dramatic supporting roles, Katt was a trusted collaborator with some of Hollywood's most respected directors, including Richard Linklater, Steven Soderbergh, Robert Rodriguez, and Christopher Nolan. His credits include Insomnia, The Dark Knight, Boiler Room, Sin City, and Death Proof. On set, he was known for his meticulous preparation, creative energy, and devotion to each character. Outside of film, he provided his voice for King of the Hill and the video game Star Wars, KOTOR 2. In his later years, Katt stepped away from the spotlight to care for his mother in California, where he lived a quiet life until her death in 2023. That quiet devotion marked the end of a life that once burned with artistic fire. With his unique talent and genuine spirit, Nicky Katt remains an unforgettable figure in the hearts of film lovers everywhere.
Two eyes of blue, softly saying, I need you.
With every high kick, smoky note, and commanding glance, a legend was born. And now, a chapter in Broadway history has gracefully closed. Chita Rivera, the dazzling force behind some of the most iconic roles in American musical theater, has died at the age of 91. Her daughter, Lisa Mordente, confirmed on January 30, 2024, following a brief illness. For nearly 7 decades, Rivera embodied the soul of the stage, fierce, magnetic, and unapologetically bold. Born Dolores Conchita Figueroa del Rivero in Washington, D.C., she rose from humble beginnings to become the first Latina woman to receive a Kennedy Center honor. She originated unforgettable roles such as Anita in West Side Story, Velma Kelly in Chicago, Rosie in Bye Bye Birdie, and the title character in Kiss of the Spider Woman. Her artistry earned her 2 Tony Awards, 10 nominations, and the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Her path was not without struggle. In 1986, a near-career-ending car accident shattered her leg, but after grueling surgeries and rehabilitation, she made a triumphant return. She once joked that her leg sets off metal detectors, but pain never dimmed her light, only sharpened her brilliance. Rivera's passion, presence, and perseverance turned every role into a revelation. Her story, told with candor in Chita, a memoir, lives on through her work and the generations she inspired. Although the curtain has fallen, her rhythm, legacy, and spirit will continue to dance on. Beloved actor Robert Trebor, whose wit, warmth, and unmistakable screen presence made him a special presence in television and film, a villain who was beloved for his versatility and heart. He died on March 11, 2025, at the Los Angeles Medical Center from sepsis, after years of health complications from leukemia and a stem cell transplant. He was 71. Trebor is best known for his role as the lovable and scheming Salmoneus, a fast-talking businessman in Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Xena, Warrior Princess. Originally intended for just 2 episodes, the role became a fan favorite for 5 seasons, even earning him an action statue. He had previously made a chilling impression as serial killer David Berkowitz in CBS's Out of the Darkness, 1985, opposite Martin Sheen, a performance he once described as emotionally and physically draining. Born Robert Allen Schenkman in Philadelphia, he changed his name to Robert Trebor, a retrograde word, to avoid confusion with another actor. A graduate of Northwestern with an early background in theater and film criticism, he built a diverse resume that included roles in The Purple Rose of Cairo, Talk Radio, 52 Pickups, Universal Soldier, and the Coen brothers' Hail Caesar, his final on-screen appearance. Off-screen, Trebor was a writer, satirist, and stage performer who never lost his creative touch. He is survived by his wife of 43 years, Deirdre Hennings. To honor his legacy, donations can be made to the Braid or the Leukemia Research Foundation. His voice, humor, and humanity will live on in the characters he brought to life.
I know, they're good, right? Wonderful. When you get to a certain age.
Born Carola Ruth Siegel in Frankfurt in 1928, Dr. Ruth Westheimer survived unimaginable hardship to become one of the most iconic and beloved voices in relationship education and public broadcasting. Orphaned during the Holocaust and raised in a Swiss orphanage after her father was taken by the Nazis, she carried both loss and resilience into everything she did. At 16, she moved to Palestine, joined the Haganah, and trained as a sniper, an unlikely beginning for the woman who would later be known for her warmth, humor, and open-hearted discussions of love and human connection. Dr. Ruth's path to prominence was unconventional and courageous. After studying psychology at the Sorbonne and earning advanced degrees in sociology and education in New York, she worked with Planned Parenthood and trained under pioneering therapist Helen Singer Kaplan. Then, in 1980, her 15-minute midnight radio segment Sexually Speaking became a sensation. Her unflinching but tender style, combined with her unmistakable accent and petite frame, made her a media phenomenon. She published over 45 books, hosted numerous radio and television shows, and became a cultural icon recognized across generations and continents. Behind the humor and charm was a woman of deep conviction and tireless energy. She never shied away from difficult conversations, whether about aging, loneliness, or emotional wellness, and used her fame to advocate for Holocaust remembrance, healthy intimacy, and personal empowerment. Her message, always, was simple. Closeness is not only good, it's beautiful and necessary. Dr. Ruth passed away peacefully on July 12, 2024, at the age of 96, surrounded by her children. She is survived by her daughter Miriam, son Joel, and 4 grandchildren. Her courage, candor, and compassion forever changed the way the world speaks about love. Known to his fans as the Iceman, Jerry Butler left an indelible mark on American music and public service. He died on February 20, 2025, at the age of 85. Although the official cause of death was not disclosed, he battled Parkinson's disease in his final years. With his smooth voice and conviction, Butler rose from the gospel halls of Chicago to the heights of R&B fame before turning his talents to decades of political service. Born in Sunflower County, Mississippi, and raised in Chicago's Cabrini Green housing complex, Butler's early life was shaped by hardship and hope. His breakthrough came in 1958 with For Your Precious Love, recorded with the Impressions, a group he co-founded with Curtis Mayfield. As a solo artist, he had hits like He Will Break Your Heart, Only the Strong Survive, and Hey, Western Union Man, songs that combined tender balladry with soulful resilience. Collaborations with Otis Redding, Betty Everett, and producers Gamble and Huff cemented his legacy as a pioneer of modern soul. Offstage, Butler redefined his public life. Elected to the Cook County Board of Commissioners in 1986, he served for more than 30 years, advocating for minority communities with the same grace he brought to his music. His transition from hitmaker to civic leader was rare but seamless, driven by a quiet sense of duty and dignity. Butler is survived by twin sons, 4 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. He was predeceased by his beloved wife Annette, brother Billy, and countless peers. A member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was a true soul survivor, powerful, mellow, and unforgettable. Rory Callum Sykes, a former child actor and motivational speaker known for his courage and resilience, has tragically died at the age of 32 in the devastating Malibu bushfires. Born blind and with cerebral palsy, Rory overcame adversity from an early age, undergoing surgery and therapy to regain some of his vision and learn to walk again. His mother, Shelley Sykes, confirmed the heartbreaking news on social media, describing him as a wonderful son and saying she was absolutely heartbroken. Originally from the UK and raised in Australia, Rory first came to public attention in the late 90s with his role in Kitty Capers, later becoming an icon of perseverance through his talks and writings about living with a disability. Together with his mother, he co-founded Happy Charity, dedicated to helping others overcome personal struggles. In recent years, he has explored his interests in gaming, investing, and philanthropy, while continuing to inspire those around him with his positivity and strength. Rory died on January 8, 2025, at a cottage on his family's 17-acre estate in Malibu, California. His mother, who had broken her arm in the fire, was unable to carry him to safety. She recalled her son saying, "Mommy, leave me alone," in their final moments together. Firefighters later confirmed that Rory died of carbon monoxide poisoning. His death was one of at least 11 people who lost their lives in the Los Angeles wildfires. Though gone too soon, Rory Sykes leaves behind a legacy of courage, love, and unwavering spirit that continues to touch all who know his story.
What I did to Ginger is knock her around. So what, bitch? Pass around.
With his unmistakable intensity and magnetic screen presence, Wings Hauser left a legacy of grit, soul, and versatility across film, television, and music. The prolific character actor passed away on March 15, 2025, at his Los Angeles studio, confirmed by his wife, filmmaker, and creative partner, Callie Lily Hauser. He was 77. The cause of death was reported as natural causes, marking the end of a remarkable 58-year career that spanned more than 100 screen roles. Born Gerald Dwight Hauser in Hollywood, Wings was the son of screenwriter Dwight Hauser and a proud member of a cinematic lineage. From early guest roles on shows like Beretta and Cannon to his unforgettable turn as Ramrod in Vice Squad, 1982, he became a staple of American action television throughout the 80s and 90s, appearing in The Fall Guy, Airwolf, Walker, Texas Ranger, and Beverly Hills, 90210. He also brought emotional depth to dramas like China Beach and played Greg Foster in The Young and the Restless across multiple decades. Despite his tough guy image, Hauser was a poet, musician, and fiercely devoted partner. In recent years, he collaborated closely with Callie Lily on a series of indie film and music projects with strong social and environmental themes. Together, they built a studio and sanctuary, producing the award-winning Eve and God. This female is not yet rated and planning a documentary titled Wings Hauser, Working Class Actor. Hauser is survived by Callie, his son Cole Hauser of Yellowstone, daughter Bright, and sister Helena. As a man who lived and created with passion, Wings' final wish was for fans to support indie art, music, and nature, the causes he and his love championed together, both on screen and in life. Sugar Pie DeSanto, the indomitable R&B and blues powerhouse whose voice, energy, and fearlessness defined an era, has died at the age of 89. Born Umpalia Marsema Ballantyne in 1935 in Brooklyn, she grew up in San Francisco's Fillmore district and rose from local talent shows to national acclaim. Standing only 4 feet 11, she packed the explosive presence of a star twice her size, wowing audiences with her raspy vocals, flamboyant acrobatics, and daring stage charisma. Discovered by Johnny Otis and renamed Sugar Pie, she went on to tour with James Brown, record unforgettable duets with Etta James like In the Basement, and deliver chart-topping hits such as I Want to Know and Slip In Mules. Despite often being overshadowed by her contemporaries, Sugar Pie's influence echoed far beyond her time, paving the way for bold, unapologetic female voices in soul, funk, and hip-hop. Behind the spotlight, her life was marked by resilience. After leaving Chess Records in the late 60s over compensation disputes, she returned to the Bay Area and rebuilt her life through music and day jobs. In 2006, she faced a heartbreaking tragedy when a fire claimed the life of her husband and destroyed her home. Yet, she continued to perform and inspire with undiminished spirit. Sugar Pie DeSanto passed away on December 20th, 2024, at her brother's home in Oakland due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and heart failure. Fiercely independent to the end, she leaves behind a legacy of grit, groove, and unshakable soul.
There!
An island?
Yeah! This one wants more coins!
The colorful and compassionate fitness guru Richard Simmons, who inspired millions to live healthier lives with his vibrant energy and generous heart, has passed away at the age of 76. He was found at his Los Angeles home on July 13, 2024, just one day after his birthday. According to his brother, Lenny Simmons, the cause of death was accidental, resulting from recent falls, with heart disease as a contributing factor. Born Milton Teagle Simmons in New Orleans, he struggled with obesity as a child. Rather than let it define him, Richard transformed his personal journey into a mission to help others find strength, health, and self-love. From his iconic Beverly Hills studio, Slimmons, to his best-selling Sweatin' to the Oldies tapes, Simmons became a national symbol of positivity and fun, known for his flamboyant outfits, infectious laughter, and genuine care for everyone he met. But behind the sparkle were quiet struggles. Simmons faced public scrutiny about his sudden withdrawal from the spotlight in 2014, leading to speculation and concern. Despite rumors, he reassured fans he was simply seeking privacy. In later years, he battled health issues, including heart disease and the physical toll of aging. Friends recall how even when in pain, he remained focused on others, answering thousands of letters and emails from those in need of encouragement. Richard Simmons never stopped giving. "I don't want people to be sad about my brother," Lenny shared. "Remember him for the joy and love he brought into people's lives." In his final days, Simmons told People magazine, "I feel good. I'm grateful for another day to help people." That spirit of kindness and unshakable optimism will forever echo in the hearts of those he moved, and moved with.
As a parent, I love my son dearly.
Valletta Wallace, mom to the notorious...
From humble beginnings in rural Jamaica to becoming a symbolic figure in the global hip-hop community, Valletta Wallace lived a life filled with resilience and deep love. As the mother of legendary rapper Notorious B.I.G., she not only raised his remarkable talent alone in Brooklyn after her husband left, but also protected and honored his legacy with unwavering devotion after his tragic death at the age of 24. Valletta Wallace passed away on February 21, 2025, at her home in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, at the age of 72, under hospice care. A preschool teacher by profession, Valletta prioritized education and kindness above all. Initially, she referred to her son's music as noise, but after his funeral, she made the brave decision to listen more deeply. "I cried like a baby," she once said. "I realized how talented my son was. Each lyric was a reflection of his soul." From that moment on, she became the steadfast guardian of one of the most significant musical legacies of the 20th century. Valletta didn't just manage Biggie's estate. She also produced the 2009 biopic Notorious, contributed to the Netflix documentary Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell, and tirelessly fought for justice in her son's unsolved murder case. "When I'm gone," she said, "I hope my friends and family continue the fight. There is always hope." The passing of Valletta Wallace is a profound loss to the music community. Yet, what she leaves behind, a mother's love, unshakable strength, and a burning flame within hip-hop culture, will forever endure.
Because I was afraid to speak when I was just a lad, my father gave my nose a treat and told me I would...
Dick Van Dyke, a life of laughter, resilience, and timeless joy. From the heartland of America to the bright lights of Broadway and Hollywood, Dick Van Dyke has spent nearly a century dazzling audiences with his wit, charm, and unmistakable flair for physical comedy. Born on December 13, 1925, in West Plains, Missouri, Van Dyke's life journey reads like a classic American story, one defined by resilience, talent, and an irrepressible zest for living. Growing up during the Great Depression, young Dick's early years were shaped by hardship. His father, Lauren "Cookie" Van Dyke, worked as a traveling salesman, while his mother, Hazel McCord, was a stenographer. The family eventually settled in Danville, Illinois, a town Van Dyke would come to call his true hometown. It was there that he befriended future entertainment legends Bobby Short and Donald O'Connor, setting the stage for a life steeped in creativity and performance. Although he initially showed interest in track and field, it was on the stage at Danville High School that Van Dyke discovered his true passion: acting. Encouraged by a supportive drama teacher, he found solace and joy in theater. At a time when financial struggles loomed large, performing became not only a calling, but an escape. Van Dyke once considered entering the ministry, influenced by his religious upbringing. But his calling to entertain was louder than the pulpit's pull. When World War II broke out, he attempted to enlist as a pilot in the Army Air Forces, but was turned away multiple times due to being underweight. Eventually accepted as a radio announcer, he served in special services, providing entertainment for American troops. Those formative years cemented his understanding of performance's power to heal, uplift, and unite, a belief that would shape the rest of his career. After the war, Van Dyke began performing professionally in a mime duo called Eric and Van the Merry Mutes with Phil Erickson. Their nightclub act led to television appearances and caught the eye of producers. In 1955, Van Dyke hosted The Dick Van Dyke Show, a different iteration from his later sitcom, a variety show that, while short-lived, demonstrated his versatility and comedic gifts. Van Dyke's big break came not on screen, but on stage. In 1960, he was cast in the Broadway musical Bye Bye Birdie, where his performance as Albert Peterson earned him a Tony Award. The role showcased his comedic timing, musical talent, and signature likability. It also drew the attention of Carl Reiner, who would cast Van Dyke in what became his defining television role. Premiering in 1961, The Dick Van Dyke Show turned Van Dyke into a household name. As Rob Petrie, a comedy writer navigating the balance between work and home life, Van Dyke's chemistry with co-star Mary Tyler Moore became legendary. The show, known for its sharp writing and progressive portrayal of marriage, won 15 Emmys over 5 seasons, 3 for Van Dyke himself. Its influence can still be felt in modern sitcoms. While thriving on television, Van Dyke also built a film career that blended whimsy with warmth. In 1964, he starred in Disney's Mary Poppins as the lovable chimney sweep Bert. His singing, dancing, and boundless energy, especially during the high-octane Step in Time sequence, made him a favorite of children and adults alike, even if critics teased his now infamous Cockney accent. In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, 1968, Van Dyke played eccentric inventor Caractacus Potts, solidifying his legacy in family entertainment. Not content with staying in one genre, Van Dyke explored dramatic roles as well. In The Comic, 1969, he portrayed a washed-up silent film comedian, revealing a depth of emotion and vulnerability behind his usual cheerful persona. It was a performance that showed audiences the serious actor beneath the slapstick. Yet, behind the smiles and spotlight, Van Dyke faced his own personal battles. In the 1970s, he struggled with alcoholism, an issue he kept private for years. The pressures of fame and a demanding work schedule took their toll. But with determination and the support of those around him, Van Dyke sought treatment and overcame his addiction. In later years, he spoke candidly about his journey, using his platform to encourage others to seek help. His personal life mirrored his professional one, marked by love, loss, and resilience. He married Margie Willett in 1948, and together they had 4 children. Though they divorced in 1984, Van Dyke found love again with actress Michelle Triola Marvin, with whom he shared a 3-decade relationship until her death in 2009. In 2012, at the age of 86, he married makeup artist Arlene Silver. Despite their 46-year age difference, the couple radiates joy, often collaborating on musical performances and living life to the fullest. Van Dyke's later career continued to evolve. From 1993 to 2001, he starred in Diagnosis, Murder as Dr. Mark Sloan, once again charming audiences across generations. In 2018, at age 93, he stunned fans with a dance cameo in Mary Poppins Returns, proving age was no barrier to talent. In his 2015 memoir, Keep Moving, and Other Tips and Truths About Aging, Van Dyke emphasized the importance of staying active, curious, and joyful. His daily regimen includes exercise, singing, and spreading positivity, principles he believes have kept him youthful in both spirit and body. His accolades are as abundant as his smiles: a Tony Award, 5 Emmys, a Grammy, a Kennedy Center honor, and a Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. He was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame in 1995. And yet, Van Dyke's humility remains unwavering. He often credits his success to the teams he worked with, saying he was simply lucky to be part of something special. Beyond show business, Van Dyke is also known for his philanthropy. He has supported causes ranging from arts education to homelessness, regularly raising funds for the Midnight Mission in Los Angeles. Whether through charity events, public appearances, or social media, he continues to use his voice for good. Even now, in his late 90s, Dick Van Dyke continues to inspire. His social media posts, filled with music, laughter, and encouragement, offer daily reminders of the joy he has spent a lifetime spreading. He is not just a performer, he is a living symbol of perseverance, generosity, and the healing power of laughter. From Rob Petrie's living room to the rooftops of London, from Broadway stages to hospital drama sets, Dick Van Dyke has given the world characters we cherish and moments we'll never forget. But perhaps his greatest role is that of a beacon, of hope, of humor, and of what it means to keep moving no matter what.